Thanks, car, for ruining my damn shot. Welcome to Shadow Alley. On this channel, we talk about kicking ass, chewing bubblegum, and taking names. So if you're into that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe and stick around. Now, normally I buy silicone masks, and that's because I want to make short films with them and movies with them, and they just look a little bit more realistic on film, I think. But I've had my eye on Zagone Studios. They do things just a little bit differently, I think, which is awesome, which is really cool. And I know a lot of people in my comments talk about the price of these silicone masks. Maybe they don't have $500, $600, $700. I think some of my masks were like, one of them was like $1,200. I'm rich, bitch! But if you don't want to spend that kind of money and you want to stick to like a cheaper, more reasonably priced latex mask, can you still get that movement? Normally, I would say absolutely not. We can take a look at that goofy alien scam mask that I got. You can see that it doesn't move naturally. You can tell right away it's a mask. The mouth doesn't move. You can't see the person's eyes. There's a big slit up the back. It just looks absolutely terrible. You would have to really be careful shooting a latex mask in order to make it look convincing or realistic on film. I've had my eye on these Zagone Studios masks. I bought these ones off of Amazon, and there'll be a link in the description below, but they also have their own website, and they have an insane selection of masks. I didn't even really know where to start, but I wanted to just kind of grab two representative ones and show the types of things that Zagone Studio is doing to keep the prices of masks way down. I mean, I think this one was around $35 and this one was around $45, which is a big difference when you compare it to a $450 or $550 silicone mask. But do they move? Do they look realistic? Now, obviously they're not gonna look quite as realistic as silicone. Silicone has like a translucent quality, so you can kind of see through it, which makes it look really like real skin, where latex doesn't quite have that same thing, so it looks like a painted mask when you're looking at latex. It's also usually really stiff and it doesn't move, which is what brings me to these masks from Zagone Studios. This mask specifically, Uncle Bobby, is a half mask that stops right here at the lip, and they disguise that transition with the mustache, which means that your actual chin is sticking out here. So if your skin tone is close to the skin tone of Uncle Bobby, it's pretty damn realistic because you can actually see the mouth moving and you can see the eyes match up decently well in there as well. So you can actually get some movement out of a latex mask because it's cut this certain way. Now, if you put a camera right on it, obviously it's not going to be perfect, but it is pretty cool, I think, and it is really, really, really inexpensive. So something like this, I think, would work a little bit better than a traditional latex mask. So that's cool. But what I'm really impressed with, really truly impressed with, they have a bunch of these ultra soft masks, and this is the ultra soft old man mask, and it truly is really thin, kind of softer latex than you would normally see. And again, if your skin tone matches this, then the eyes actually kind of line up pretty well. But the thing that's really cool, that makes these masks really special in my opinion, normally a latex mask goes on your head and it just kind of bobbles around aimlessly. These have like a stretchy mesh, so it fits way tighter on your face than a normal silicone mask does. A lot of silicone masks just plop it down on your head and you can move your head and the mask doesn't move. Or you move your head and the mask tilts back and forth. It just looks terrible. But with this stretchy mesh on the back of the mask, it actually hugs your face. And another brilliant thing they've done is they've put a latex band, a stretchy latex band like a rubber band, inside the lip, inside the bottom lip. So it pulls really tight on your lip and sticks there. That way when you move your mouth, it actually moves the latex as well. I don't know why a lot more mask companies don't do similar things to this, because for $45, you're actually getting a mask that fits pretty well, looks pretty realistic, especially if you light it maybe in the shadow or moody, or it was way back in the background, and it actually has some mouth movement that looks pretty darn convincing, I think. I just like to see companies doing interesting things, changing the game up, doing it a little bit differently, adding mesh and adding rubber bands in really cool places to just make the masks look that much more realistic. I'm really impressed with this. I mean, you can see by the movement, if you lit this pretty well, I think you could feasibly get away with having this in a movie, and if it's in the background or, like I said, lit very well, you might not be able to tell that it's actually a mask. And even if you do, or even if you can tell it's a mask, there's still something really uncanny valley and creepy about it that I think looks really, really hideous. And by hideous, I mean awesomely hideous and cool. So if you are looking for a cheaper alternative to silicone masks, but you still want to get some actual movement, you want that character maybe to do some dialogue and be able to see that the mouth is actually moving, or you want to be able to see the real character's eyes in there and you put some cool contacts in there so they look extra creepy. You can't really get that with a lot of traditional latex masks, but Zagone Studios has a whole bunch of different masks that allow for your chin to be used, which could blend in nicely, especially if you had dark hair, a dark beard. This thing would look pretty damn convincing. And their line of ultra soft latex masks truly do hug your face way better than most latex masks do. They're made out of an extra thin, extra soft latex so that it actually has a little bit of movement, and they put these elastic bands inside the lower jaw so that the lower jaw can actually be used. That alone, for me, is worth it. They have tons and tons and tons of masks. I probably am not gonna get into all of those unless you wanna see more of these on the channel, but I just wanted to show you that there are latex mask companies that are doing cool things to try to help make more realistic masks that have actual movement, and I think that's awesome. So if you're looking for a silicone mask alternative, something that is a little bit more in your budget right now, I would highly suggest you go to Amazon and check out Zagone Studios, or go to their website, I believe it's zagonestudios.com, and get yourself a really cool ultra soft latex mask for your next horror movie project. Well, as always, thanks for watching, and do all those things you're supposed to do to help support a channel, like and comment and share with your friends, and I will see you in the next one.